stories that I presented. So instead of just going online, which takes time, I could walk by. I could see a display of my story, my science story, and be able to actually interact with that display and think about ways that we can actually have feedback between the community and the children. We also thought about this in the home environment as well. Can we actually stream some of these stories onto larger displays for the families? So our questions have always been, well, how can social and ubiquitous technologies be designed to support information flow and connected learning and to promote children's scientizing? How do these technologies actually do it? And not just the technology itself. We actually have to think about the social, but we also have to think about what's in the community already. We don't want to think about this community as a dearth of nothingness. There's actually a lot. There's lots of resources, lots of ways we can leverage funds of knowledge, lots of ways to leverage the personal relationships that have already developed in this community. So understanding these resources and opportunities, but also looking at the challenges. What are the acute constraints, particularly in lower SES communities, that to implement this vision of connected learning? We also asked the question specifically, how do learners who engage in this develop their scientizing skills? Do they talk about science a little bit more in their everyday practices? And how are their identities moving towards science? How are they actually think about themselves? And particularly their neighborhoods. Can a neighborhood actually support science learning through the use of programs and technologies? So in the Maryland setting, we started right now in year 1, about 25 to 30 children ages 5 to 15. Now, we didn't propose this originally in the grant. We were saying you know, younger kids, like around 9 to 13, we thought. But what happens is when you start studying science with families, they bring everyone. They bring their babies, they bring their 7-year-olds, they bring their kindergartners. So we're like, okay, we got to think about this. How are we going to do this with now ages 5 to 15? Hasn't been done yet, really, exactly. We're also working with